Imagine a plot of land smaller than a football field. On it, there is no skyscraper, no hotel, no shopping center, only a smooth lawn, a swimming pool, and silence behind a high wall. And this patch of grass costs $230 million. Most people think they know what wealth in Singapore looks like. They watched Crazy Rich Asians and decided they understood the picture. But that is a movie. That is a decoration. In a city-state that is smaller than New York, where every square meter is a luxury in itself, there exists a secret class of real estate next to which Beverly Hills seems like a cramped communal apartment. They are called Good Class Bungalows, or GCB for short, the highest category mansions. There are about 2,800 of them in the entire country, and to get hold of even one, it is not enough to be rich. You need permission from the authorities. You need influence, and almost always, citizenship of Singapore. These are not houses. These are small sovereign states, hidden behind 20-foot fences and a wall of tropical forest. These are the 7 most expensive billionaire mansions in Singapore, and at the very end, a bonus. A mansion that is more expensive than all of them, but which no one could buy at all. Welcome to the channel for the richest.
Luxury life.
The Winged House, Jang Yong, founder of Haida Lao. How much does a bowl of soup cost? If you are Jang Yong, about $70 million. Before collecting mansions on Gallop Road, this man was a welder at a tractor factory in the Chinese hinterland. Without higher education, without capital, he had 4 tables and one idea: to serve soup so that the client felt like a king. He slept in the back room of his first restaurant. He bowed to visitors who treated him like a servant. And then he understood the main thing. He is not selling food. He is selling service. Free manicure, shoe shining, and noodle dancing for guests in the queue. Today, dinner for one at Haida Lao costs $30 to $50, and the chain itself, at its exit to the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, was valued at almost $12 billion. On that day, Jang Yong and his wife Xu Ping turned into dollar billionaires with a fortune of about $19 billion and moved their headquarters and life to a tax haven called Singapore. And here begins what business publications did not write about. In 2016, Jang bought not just a mansion, he bought a sculpture that looks like it is about to take off. The Winged House on Gallop Road cost him $27 million, about $1,700 per square foot. Designed by the K2LD Bureau, the building looks like 2 giant wooden wings hovering above the ground. The form is inspired by the traditional Malay roof, but twisted into a futuristic installation. Every centimeter is calculated for air and light flows. In the tropical heat, the house barely needs air conditioners. But one GCB was not enough for the family. At the end of 2020, his son, Zhang Hanji, received an option on the neighboring mansion for $42 million. That is almost $1,940 per foot, a district record at that time. This is how a private family residence worth almost $70 million emerged in one of the most prestigious corners of Asia. The total land area is more than 3,500 square meters. For you to understand the scale, 21 standard city apartments could fit on this plot, and the average Singaporean family lives on about 80 square meters. But the next hero did not gather relatives under one roof. He bought a fortress to hide from the whole world. The TikTok Palace, Shou. Look into your phone. If TikTok is installed there, congratulations, you have partly paid for this mansion. Shou, the chief executive officer of TikTok, did not just buy a house. He bought an entry ticket to the enclave of Queen Astrid Park, an area so closed that in narrow circles it is called the billionaire's playground. Shou himself was born in Singapore, but his rise was not predetermined. First, exhausting army service as an officer, then economics at University College London and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Then Goldman Sachs, chief financial officer of Xiaomi and the venture fund DST Global, where he personally brought in an investment in ByteDance, the owner of TikTok, even before it became a giant with a price of hundreds of billions. He bet his career on an app with dancing teenagers. And won. When he sat in the CEO chair of TikTok and took the blow from the United States Congress, he needed a refuge. In 2021, at the peak of the technology boom, he put down $86 million for a top-category mansion. And here is what makes this deal insane. The house was old. It was going to be demolished anyway. That is, Shou paid $86 million actually for the land, for 2,900 square meters with a tenure of 999 years, about $2,700 per square foot, for grass, for air, for an address. In Singapore, land cannot be reprinted. There is exactly as much of it as there is. Queen Astrid Park is famous for its hilly terrain and dense greenery, which gives a level of privacy unattainable in the center. The value was not in the bricks, it was in the coordinates on the map. It is expected that another 20 to 30 million will go towards turning the plot into a modern fortress with security systems of a spy movie level. This is new money putting down roots in old land. And the next magnate bought a view from the window, the very view that cost him his reputation in his homeland but crowned him in Singapore. The Garden of the King of Vacuums, Sir James Dyson. This man reinvented the vacuum cleaner, the hairdryer, and the hand dryer. Sir James Dyson. And he also caused an international scandal by moving the headquarters of his company from Great Britain to Singapore. Before becoming a billionaire, Dyson lived in debt for years. 5,127 vacuum cleaner prototypes. That is exactly how many times he failed before one finally worked. He mortgaged his own house. Every major manufacturer rejected him. He was an absolute outsider inventor. And when he won, he swore to live only on his own terms, no matter what the British press wrote about him. Today, the Dyson Supersonic hairdryer costs about $400. The Airwrap styler is under $600, and Sir James's fortune is estimated at more than $20 billion. In 2019, he flew to Singapore and immediately put down $73.8 million for a super penthouse in Wallach Residence, the most expensive apartment in the country's history, occupying the top 3 floors of the tallest building in the city. And then a twist happened. He realized that life in the sky was not enough for him. He needed land under his feet, and he bought a top-category mansion on Cluny Road for approximately $50 million. This house is special. Its windows look out onto the Singapore Botanic Gardens, a United Nations educational, scientific, and cultural organization World Heritage Site. Other billionaires admire other mansions. James Dyson admires trees that are older than the Industrial Revolution of his own country. Inside, there is a cantilevered spiral staircase twisted like a double helix of deoxyribonucleic acid, an infinity pool skirting the plot, and a waterfall right inside the house. A project by the Goose Architects Bureau, masters of weaving living nature into concrete. He later sold the penthouse in the sky, reportedly at a loss, which for him is a rare financial misstep, but he kept the mansion. Why? Because a penthouse is just an apartment, but a GCB on Cluny Road is a legacy. Is one of the few places where a foreigner, albeit one who received residency status, was given special permission to buy land for outstanding contribution to the economy. He literally bought himself a place in the closed club of landowners. Dyson bought a view of a garden. And the next billionaire does not need a view. He has so much land that he can lay out his own park. The domain of the King of Paint, Chang Leang. Look at any wall in Singapore. With high probability, the paint on it put money in this man's pocket. Chang Leang, the founder of Wuthelam Holdings and partner of Nippon Paint, regularly features among the richest Singaporeans. Today, his fortune is estimated at approximately $13 billion, which is 182nd place on the Forbes global list. And his real estate is no longer a house, it is a territory. Go's story is an epic of rags to rule. He was born into poverty, he traded fishing nets, he worked in a hardware shop, he did not have a university diploma. After the Second World War, he bought flawed, almost spoiled paint from the British Army, mixed it with solvents, and started selling it under his own brand, Pigeon Brand. This street savvy grew into a partnership with Nippon Paint, which today dominates the entire Asian market. And the King of Paint channels his spare billions not only into houses, his super yachts are docked at the Marina Keppel Bay. In 2020, while the whole world was panic buying buckwheat due to the pandemic, Go's family went shopping. They acquired a gigantic mansion on Garlick Avenue for $93 million. And here is the trick. It was not a house purchase. It was a strategic land grab. The plot is 101,550 square feet, more than 9,000 square meters of pure freehold. For comparison, a standard GCB is satisfied with 15,000 feet. This single deal is the size of almost 7 ordinary mansions merged into one. one of the largest residential plots ever sold in Singapore's history. The land can be subdivided into several residences for future generations. It can be built anew, or it can simply be left as a private park in the middle of a concrete jungle. Go bought scale. And the next buyer smashed the price per square foot record and proved that in Singapore, technology money now beats old industrial fortunes. The record of the queen of technology, Jin Xiao Qun. We are used to hearing about male billionaires, but she broke through both the glass ceiling and the real estate market in one check. Jin Xiao Qun is the wife of Shou, the founder of nanofilm technologies, and this couple was not born into the Singaporean aristocracy. Shou was a professor at Nanyang Technological University, an ordinary academic. Only instead of writing papers, he invented a nano-coating technology for smartphones and electronics and built a company on it. From the lecture hall to the strike of the stock exchange bell. When nanofilm went public, the couple became billionaires literally overnight. What does a person do who yesterday received a professor's salary and today is worth $1 billion? They buy the most expensive street in the country. In 2021, Jin Xiao Qun bought the Ladyvale mansion on Nassim Road, number 30, for $128.8 million. Nassim Road is the Fifth Avenue of Singapore. Embassies stand here. Here are the old colonial black and white houses of the British era. To buy on Nassim means to announce to the whole world that you have arrived. But the real sensation is in the per foot price. She paid about $4,500 per square foot, converted into meters more than $43,000 per square meter. This was an absolute record that rippled through the market like a shockwave. Technology billionaires are ready to pay any sum just to displace the old money. And the cherry on top, this mansion has conservation protected status. It cannot be demolished. It can only be carefully restored. She paid $128 million for a house that she legally has no right to destroy. Here it is, the highest form of luxury, buying history simply to live in it. Jin Xiao Qun bought a historic house, and the next owner is an actual prince, and his residence has remained a mystery for decades, a mystery that haunts all of Singapore. The Prince's Fortress, Arwah Mansion. On top of a hill on Nassim Road, visible only from a distance, stands the Arwah Mansion, a white fortress as if descended from the pages of fantasy, perhaps the most majestic and the most mysterious private residence in Singapore. Its owner is Prince Jeffrey Bolkiah of Brunei, the younger brother of the Sultan. And to understand the scale of this family, hold this context. Their Istana Nurul Iman Palace has 1,788 rooms, the largest residential residence on the planet. Prince Jeffrey himself became famous, or more accurately, notorious, for a lifestyle of unimaginable excess. In the 90s, he owned super yachts, hotels in New York and Paris, and a collection of thousands of luxury cars. But the unrestrained spending led to a colossal financial collapse and a legal battle with the state of Brunei. He had to return assets worth billions of dollars, and yet the Arwah Mansion withstood. It is a surviving monument to that very era of excess. It was built by combining two huge land parcels, and today it sprawls over approximately 110,000 square feet, more than 10,000 square meters. An insider detail: technically these are two buildings connected into one. No house in Singapore has such visual dominance. It stands on elevated ground and literally looks down on its neighbors. For years, rumors circulated that the house was empty, that it is maintained only by a handful of servants for a prince who almost never visits. It stands as a silent monument to oil wealth. If put up for sale today, experts estimate the sum in the corridor from $120 to over $150 million just for the size of the plot and the magic of the Nassim Road address. The prince's mansion is legendary. But our number one is the deal that officially rewrote the records: a tennis court, a garden the size of a park, and a price tag that defies common sense. The king of the social network, Eduardo Saverin. This is the most expensive residential deal in Singapore's history, a mansion whose price tag is higher than the gross domestic product of some island states. The buyer is Eduardo Saverin, the co-founder of Facebook, the very one Andrew Garfield played in the movie The Social Network, a man who was squeezed out of the company he helped build, but who left with a stake that made him one of the richest people on the planet. His struggle was public. He sued Mark Zuckerberg. he was pushed out, and then he renounced his American citizenship, a move that, by reports, saved him hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes, and relocated to Singapore, reborn as a venture investor. Today, he is considered the richest man in Singapore, with a fortune estimated in the tens of billions. In 2019, rumors began to circulate that a company linked to Saverin, the firm SG Casa, bought a sprawling mansion on the Siem Road, number 33. The seller was Chen Wai-keung, chairman of the developer giant Wing Tai Holdings, who had held this land for years, knowing that it would only appreciate. He was not mistaken. The price was $230 million. Let us break down what you get for $230 million. The land is 84,543 square feet, almost 8,000 square meters, 1.5 football fields. The driveway alone is long enough to test the acceleration of a Ferrari. On the plot are a full-size tennis court, a huge swimming pool, and a garden resembling a private botanical park. But the real secret is in the shape of the parcel. It is a large, flat plot with a gigantic frontage along the road. And in the world of real estate, frontage is pure vanity. It allows passers-by to see just enough to understand that you are rich, but not enough to make out you yourself. This deal definitively cemented Singapore's status as a new playground for the global super elite. The mansion was not bought by an old Chinese magnate or a Malay monarch. It was bought by a young technology billionaire who decided that Singapore is the safest and most luxurious place to park $250 million. Eduardo Saverin lives in a house that costs more than most A-list Hollywood stars will earn in their entire careers. But there is one mansion on the very same Nassim Road whose owner looks at these $230 million and smirks because he priced his own house almost 1.5 times higher. Bonus, the mansion that was not sold even for $308 million, Chung Pin Chuan. You have watched to the end, and for this you get the house that is technically more expensive than all the previous ones combined in terms of price per meter. Only no one could buy it. In 2024, a mansion on Nassim Road was put on the market with a price tag that took the breath away of realtors, $308 million. This is the highest asking price for a good class bungalow in the entire history of Singapore. For perspective, for this money you could buy Eduardo Saverin's mansion for $230 million, and there would still be almost $80 million left over for a couple of modest GCBs in addition. The owner is Chung Pin Chuan, co-chief executive officer of the Hong Fat Corporation, one of the oldest developer houses in the city. The two-story conserved mansion spreads over more than 58,000 square feet. That is about 5,500 square meters. Converted to area, the price tag comes out to about $5,240 per square foot, meaning that for each square here they are asking more than the cost of a good car. And in front of the house lies such a huge front garden that it can officially be divided into two separate plots and build two more full-fledged residences there. That is, you are not buying a house, you are buying a ready-made street for development in the most expensive address in Asia. And here is the irony, which says a lot about the market here. This very mansion has already been tried for sale twice, in 2019 and in 2022, for $175 million. And they did not find a buyer. Then the owner made a move that is available only to truly rich people. He did not drop the price. He almost doubled it. When you have nowhere to rush and nothing to lose, time works for you, and land on Nassim Road, as is known, never cheapens. And so that you finally feel what this street is. A stone's throw from here stand the embassies of Japan, Russia, and the Philippines. And not far away at the exit of Nassim Road to the Orchard Shopping Boulevard, the Indonesian timber magnate Sukanto Tanodo bought out an entire shopping center, Tanglin Shopping Center, for $868 million. A little further, that very Indonesian family of Fangiono swept up 3 neighboring mansions at once for $206 million. Here, they do not bargain for an apartment. Here, they buy up districts. And it is precisely against this backdrop that the price tag of $308 million for one house ceases to seem insane. It simply becomes the new bar that the market will yet catch up to. Which of these mansions blew your mind the most? Write everything you think in the comments. We will definitely read everything. Well, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel for the richest.